Gretchen here, and today I want to talk about self-advocating and how to improve your life and your mental health by just taking control of it. And how do you do that? It can seem really overwhelming, and living with epilepsy for 16 years, just in the past year or so, I have really taken control of my life. And by using these tips that I'm about to show you, you can really just take control of your life, and it's a lot easier than it seems. And if you haven't already yet, if you don't mind just hitting the like and subscribe button down below, I would really appreciate it. Just support my channel, and I will bring you more of content like this just to help you improve your mental health in your life, living with a chronic illness, or just your health in general. And the first tip I want to show you how to do is just, I really don't have to show you how to do this, but just to take notes to your doctor. And by doing this, you really just help your doctor help you. So whenever something bothers you at home or when you're out, you can take notes on your phone or just keep a notebook with you. So whenever something bothers you, just write it down, because the doctor has a way of just getting us tongue-tied, and it's called the white coat syndrome. It's a real thing. So doctors can be kind of intimidating people, and they have a way of just having us completely forget what we went to the doctor for. And so we don't want that. So we take notes to the doctor, and that leads us to the next tip, which is asking the right questions. So by asking the right questions, we open our world up to things that we might not even know that we wanted to know. So there might be a vitamin out there that we should be taking with our medication, or a supplement that we could be taking that could completely improve our life. Or there might be something that we could be doing every day that could improve our life. And if we just ask our doctor that question, those notes of things that are bothering us, then we can ask those right questions. So by asking those questions, so for an example, the side effects with epilepsy medications, I'm taking a medication called Topamax, which really, really messes with your memory. So it's almost like whenever you're on a high dose, it's almost like whenever something happens, that memory goes away. So short-term memory is basically non-existent. So I went in with a list of things that were bothering me, and I asked my doctor, I said, this memory thing is, and surprisingly, I've been taking this medication since I was 12 years old. I'm 27 now. And so surprisingly, this is the first time I've ever asked my doctor this question. And talking to other people taking this medication, they've never asked their doctor this question either. So I asked her, I said, is there any supplement for memory that you can take? And she didn't have the answer right then, but she did some research for me, and the next time I went to her, she told me a supplement I could take, and I'm taking it now, and my memory and focus and cognitive function has really improved, which is why I'm able to make these videos for you. My memory is so much better. And maybe if you are able to ask the right questions to your doctor, they can help you out with those types of questions too. Maybe they do, if you have a good doctor, which leads me to the next tip. If you have a doctor that is not answering your questions or understanding you or caring to understand you, or not listening to you, then get a second opinion. And if that second opinion, if you don't have the right gut feeling about that second opinion, get a third opinion, get a fourth opinion, get as many opinions as you need to get. because there might be another specialist out there who has more information or different information that could help you, because they've probably studied in a different field of, or maybe they've studied specifically about your illness, or maybe they've studied or maybe they're more personable or easier to talk to, or maybe you just have better chemistry and just understand you more. Because that's extremely important. Because if you don't have a doctor that you can talk to, then I have experienced with on the support groups that I'm on, people talking about medicating themselves and taking that into their own hands, and that is very dangerous. And I have been guilty of this myself, because epilepsy medications have very bad side effects and mood side effects. And they have also epilepsy medications, and I'm sure lots of just medications in general can cause suicidal tendencies. So people that take medications with side effects like that, it can cause some stress where people think that, I'm just better off not taking this medication. So you need a doctor that you're able to talk to about that, and someone that supports you. So if you get that second professional opinion, then someone that listens to you and supports you and understands what your side effects are and what you're going through, that is so important for your health and your mental health. Because if you don't have that, and you don't have someone that understands what you're going through, you're going to feel completely isolated, and that's not good. No one wants that. And that goes to my next point. I completely understand that even though, taking your health into your own hands is what I'm talking about, and no one knows what living with your illness or you're living your life, no one knows what that's like better than you. Which is why I'm making this video, and why you need to follow your gut. So if you don't hear advice from a professional, if you don't hear the advice from a professional that doesn't go well with your intuition, then you should get advice from another professional. But you should never replace a professional's opinion with just some random person. Last night I was on a support group where a mother's son was having a seizure. So she got on the support group, which is just a bunch of random people. She got on the support group and said, and her son stopped breathing. So she got on the support group and said, "My son stopped breathing. Should I call 911? Yes, you should call 911. So you should never do something like that. You should never replace a professional with a random person or your friend, or, a therapist is a professional, but not the type of professional that medicates and, provides the type of professional opinions that I'm talking about. So just wanted to give that just wanted to clarify that. And another tip that I wanted to say is, since we are living in the 21st century, there's a lot of apps on phones that can help people that have things like seizures or other, I'm sure there's a lot of other things where things flare up and you need to record them so that you can figure out what your triggers are. So there's an app I use called SEER, SEER, where you can record flare-ups specifically. So if you just have like an incident, So it's not just for epilepsy, but it's really good for like recording moods, and you can figure out what your triggers are for specific things. So that's a really good app, and there's a lot of other apps. And I'm sure if you just simply just search on the internet for whatever your illness is or your problem, and you just literally just type in that word and then type app, you can figure it out. I have an Android. I'm sure there's plenty of apps for iPhones. I'm specifically there's an there's a watch that records or will record the seizure and let people know that you're having one. So that's something that I'm looking into getting, but I don't have it yet. So when I do get it, I will let you guys know how that works. So apps are a really good way to improve your life in the modern world. We are very lucky because there's always new medications coming out for people, and there's always new ways to improve your life with technology. And aside from that, the last thing I wanted to talk about is, and the reason why it's last is because a lot of people have told me that this is a toxic thing to say, but I don't think it is, because I'm going to preface it because it is not I know that it's not a cure, but I think it's still extremely important. I think having a positive mindset it has helped me so much. And to add to that, I think it's extremely important to stay focused on what it is that you want. So I have stayed focused on wanting to be healthy. And instead of staying focused on what I'm afraid of. So, for example, with me having seizures, I have stayed focused on staying safe, because I can't cure my illness. I can't cure my seizures because it's a chronic illness. But I have stayed focused on staying safe, staying happy, instead of being afraid of, falling and hitting my head or etc. So if you can implement that in your life, it can be an improvement, because it has certainly improved my life and made me a lot happier. So hopefully these things have helped you, and hopefully you can implement them in your life and help your mental health. And I know it's really difficult to live with a chronic illness and to advocate for yourself, and it is a journey. And I will delve a lot deeper into a lot of these things in my future videos, but please like and subscribe. And if you liked what I had in this video, please comment. And if you have any ideas, just let me know, and just leave a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.